Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we're going to be taking a look at, once again, another Jeleniowatyy creation. We love him, the Polish budget deck phenom. Jeleniowatyy has come back at us with an Aggro Priest. We played their Murloc Priest towards the end of the last expansion and actually had a lot of fun with it. Had a lot of interesting learns from that kind of archetype. And they've got something pretty cool for us here today. It's a bit of a mash of a lot of the aggro heal cards that we've seen in particularly Warlock, but also in a couple of other archetypes, as well as some interesting priest options that don't see a lot of play. So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about when it comes to that kind of heal aggro stuff, mostly we're talking about Light Warden. They actually haven't included any like Happy Ghouls or anything like that, and I think I'd like to see some of that Happy Ghoul action in here, but mostly focusing on Light Warden. Whenever a character is healed, get +2 attack. Obviously, you're a priest, so you have that hero power, but we're going to be trying to get a little bit more advantage out of that with cards like Circle of Healing, Northshire Cleric. We have a Crystallizer in here, just the one, to make sure that we have damage on our character, which we can heal off to further buff the Light Warden. We've also got powered shields in here, which is great. It's going to help us kind of protect these 5 important 1-drops. Onto the 2-drops, we've got Radiant Elemental and Shadow Ascendant. Shadow Ascendant in particular, card that hasn't seen a lot of love. You know, when Spiteful Priest was in its heyday, this was a card that often saw play, at least before people switched over to Keleseth. But it's a fantastic card. It really demands an answer from your opponent, or else it starts making things real tricky. You know, a 2/4 Northshire Cleric, a 2/3 Light Warden just makes these cards even harder to answer. And I really like that. And Radiant Elemental, of course, gives us a lot more efficiency with our spells. Free power word shields, 1 mana Mind Blasts, 1 mana Shadow Visions. So just going to be able to churn through our deck a bit quicker. We've got extra arms in here. Speaking of Shadow Visions, some targets for those Shadow Visions: Circle of Healing, Powered Shield, extra arms. Great card to buff up our boys, particularly maybe the smaller ones like the Shadow Ascendant. Make them battle a bit harder. We can trade in on that turn as well to get a little bit more value, and it adds an extra copy of the card to our hands. So one of the key things we learnt from playing their Murloc Mage is that, because we initially thought that Unidentified Elixir was significantly better than extra arms, but this deck actually grinds pretty hard, and we don't have a lot of card draw in here, at least not a lot of, like, you know, Arcane Intellect type card draws. So getting the extra value out of extra arms is really important. So much extra. Read all about it. We've got some Injured Blade Masters in here and a Tar Creeper. Injured Blade Master in particular is going to be great with Light Warden and Circle of Healing, and of course Northshire Cleric, as it usually is. Tar Creeper is going to protect some of our smaller boys, like the Light Warden that we mentioned before. Then we get into 2 of the more interesting additions to this deck. 2 Orchardized Soul Priest and 2 Master Spells. Now, Orchardized Soul Priest is typically combined with Circle of Healing as a board clear. It kills your opponent's board, does leave you with a Soul Priest, but only has 1 health left, which you then cannot heal. So I'm wondering, I'm not sure if the Soul Priest is in here as a way to counter more aggressive decks, because I think there are a lot of decks like Zoolock or Odd Paladin will beat us on board. So Orchardized Soul Priest potentially a way to come back. Or if the idea behind the Soul Priest is that we can turn our hero power into 2 damage to any target, and we can start going face with that as a bit of a later game plan. I'm not too sure what the exact plan is here, but I'm not really convinced with the Orchardized Soul Priest. I think this could be another aggressive option, like a Vicious Fledgling. Could be another one of these Cobalt Scalebanes or Fungal Mancers. But hopefully this is the correct choice. Hopefully Jeleniowatyy is got on that 200 IQ deck building, and that is an awesome addition to the deck. And the 2 Master Spells, my concern here is more that 2 Master Spells might be too much. Maybe 1 Master Spell is the way to go, especially with these Shadow Visions. get some more threats in here for that we can deploy before we mass dispel. Then we've got the late game, one Cobalt Scalebane, one Fungal Mancer, an interesting split. I think I'd go for the double Cobalt Scalebane myself, but this will let us test and see which ones are better. And then the last two cards here, these were listed in the deck list as two Argent Commanders, these boys. Which does make the deck a bit more budget. However, Jeleniowatyy has mentioned that these can be exchanged for Leroy and Lyra. Leroy obviously providing the same kind of reach that Argent Commander does, and Lyra being a card that we can combine with Radiant Elementals to potentially take over the game. A little bit better than the Argent Commander, I think. So we're going to be making those changes and seeing how we go. So yeah, we'll jump into some games. We'll pay attention to those Aggro Soul Priests, those Master Spells, and those extra arms, and let's see if we can rattle off a couple of wins. Let's go. Okay, up against a Druid. I think we'll keep the Crystallizer. We'll try and hit some... oh, this is a good curve. It's good, but if they have removal, it's very hard to get back in the deck. So speaking about this deck, Booger in chat has played some of the deck, mentions that can be quite hard to get back into the game. Shadow Ascendant can be pretty good here. Might provoke a Spellstone out of our opponent. If they do go for like a Wild Growth here, we might actually extra arms our Shadow Ascendant. No, Spellstone. Don't think there's much use holding the Mind Blast. We may as well get it out of our hand whilst we can use it efficiently. There's a Wild Growth. So they did have that awkward turn where they weren't sure if they wanted to Wild Growth or Spellstone. Alright, we got some beaters. Our opponent's on that 5 mana. This could provoke a Naturalize out of our opponent. Branching Paths, Armor. Armor. Very interesting. Double Soul Priest. This is a little bit awkward. Your 1, 2, and 3 drop feels super important. I mean, 5 I think is a good... Whoa, Force of Nature. This is the Treant deck. Sweet Essence. Oh, they suspect the Circle of Healing. I imagine not.
Embrace the void. Feel my pain. Crystallize.
Alright. Let's see what our opponent's got.
I can see.
Woo! Got him. Nice. Wow. There we go. Interesting. So, Aggro Soul Priest proving its use.
The light shall bring victory.
Okay, up against Paladin. I think we definitely want this Northshire Cleric. I think we mainly want to hit a 2-drop here, so we really want to hit like Shadow Ascendant or something like that. And we have a lot of good 3s. You know, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 good 3s. So maybe we do want to keep 1 on the coin. Maybe we keep the Blade Master on the coin. Maybe we... I mean, if we suspect it's Odd Paladin... we got the combo anyway. Yes! If we suspect it was Odd Paladin, we may have been better off keeping the Tar Creeper.
Reporting for duty.
So, fingers crossed they don't have the one drop Acros Veteran. Really hope they don't have Acros Veteran. Are they thinking about it? Are they tanking on? Do they only have Acros Veteran in hand, or do they have Blessing of Might? And they're trying to weigh up if they want to deploy one of those. No. Okay. Big up there. We did it, Reddit. Light Warden 2? Jeez. We'll take our 2 cards here. And our fully healed Injured Blade Master. We won't try and do too much. I think if we try and do too much against a deck like Odd Paladin, we very quickly get slapped down. Another matchup where Orchanai Soul Priest could actually be okay. Good body. Lets us take out, you know, war leaders and things like that. They're sitting behind taunts.
Out of my jungle!
Will our opponent trade 3 Silverhand recruits for our North Shire Cleric? The answer is yes.
Your turn to bleed!
Your turn to bleed.
In the light's name.
To play this other Light Warden? I mean, if it forces them to go for a maul, especially on a turn where they're not doing too much else, and it might be a high value maul, I think it's okay. Now every character we heal threatens 4 more damage. Can we Shadow Vision? Now that we've got both powered shields, the spells left in our deck are 1 Circle of Healing, 1 Mind Blast, Shadow Vision's extra arms, Master Spell. 5 spells, so we're not 100% to get Circle of Healing. But I think if we find it, we're pretty good. Well, now there's 4 spells left in the deck. So I think we go for it. There it is. Okay.
Your turn to bleed!
Face the light. Face the light.
Alright. Do you think people enjoy playing budget decks or expensive decks? I think people enjoy Hearthstone for different reasons. And I think it often doesn't come down to what decks they play. It comes down to kind of what they value. Do they value having fun? If they value having fun, they're less likely to want to play budget decks, because I think the more fun cards are usually legendary. If they value winning, I think you can get away with budget decks that win. You know, probably a little bit above budget though. Probably that 2,000 to 3,000 dust range. If people just value getting quests done and things like that, man, budget decks are great. Anyway, GG's. Okay, we are here with the Aggro Priest. Bit of an interesting draw here. I think we can send back the Master Spell, but Light Warden, Powered Shield, Circle of Healing. I think the conservative person in me would send back the Circle of Healing, but the person in me who really wants a huge Light Warden, they're going to keep the Circle of Healing. Oh! Oh! Tight. Ooh, not odd, not even.
Is someone injured?
Interesting. Vox, as someone who started when Witchwood came out, I first enjoyed having a decent budget deck for each hero so I could try a lot of stuff and play with friends. Great, that's a fantastic kind of explanation of potentially what the budget player experience is like. We'll get this Shadow Ascendant out there, maybe bait a little bit of removal so that our Light Warden can get protected. We also want to kind of deploy the Light Warden and put some powered shields on it. Now I care more about waiting for the older expansions to fade out and dumping a bunch of dust into something real good for ladder climbing. Right, so you've kind of... I think that's a pretty common, like, step that people take or want to take, that they may never not do that, or, you know, the majority of people might fit into that, like, I want to have a deck for each class type of thing. And then if they really like a given expansion, or they like a given deck, or maybe they open a sick legendary that they want to play, then they move into like, okay, I'm going to focus on one deck. Fan? Kingsbane. Okay.
Right away. In the light's name. Do my bidding.
Alright, let's see what our opponent has here. Especially Kingsbane. You know, if they actually have a couple of deadly poisons or anything here, we could be up a bit of a creek. Sap is okay. The second sap might not be.
Is someone injured? In the light's name. Do my bidding.
I think at this point, if they have an answer for the Light Warden, that's fine. Double sap though. Double sap. No, so do they not have any like deadly poisons, no toxicologists, nothing like that? Sap is just so strange right there. They got a... Maybe they have green skin right now?
I wonder.
You gotta have something, dude. Or else this, this Light Warden Northshire Cleric mix-up is, it's gonna get you. Attacking face. Interesting. Are they trying to get us to extend into, like, a Vanish or something? What plays the best around Vanish? We may as well just play a Fungal Mancer then, right?
I wonder.
Because it pushes the most damage through?
Mushroom power!
Right away. Face the light.
I guess we still have the coin as well, so we can actually, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can deploy a lot of things. Something dies. Fungal Mancer died, and we burn a card.
Hand is too full.
That's fine.
You are the shadows. Is someone injured? In the light's name.
So we have the Leroy in here, so that's a bit of reach that we have. But getting this last 12 damage done. Finally a deadly poison. Do they have leeching?
A clever concoction.
No. Toxicologist. Blade Flurry. Alright. That's pretty good. The glory of a true sun?
Behold the glory of a new sun!
Yes, I'll have a mind blast. Cool. Cool. I will have cake as soon as all the Death Knights go bye. Yeah, I think a lot of people are waiting for that rotation with Knights of the Frozen Throne, Kobolds and Catacombs all leaving. I'm only asking because I want to get a reputation. I want to be recognized. I have a lot of crazy ideas and I love fun decks. But I'd hate to put my ideas out there and have no other people enjoy it. I'd like to cater to what people like to do because having limited resources and being pushed to create fun is my favorite pastime. I have a lot to say about that. You're speaking my language.
Embrace the
You are definitely speaking my language. I know when I started, that's why I wanted to do a lot of budget deck videos, because to me, I think a lot of the competitive community is already catered for quite well. Now, do they have Kingsbane prep leeching? There it is. Game 4. Leroy comes in for the kill. GG. Well played. Okay, we are here with Jeleniowaty's Aggro Priest. As you can see, if you watched all those games, we had quite a lot of success. Then the deck felt great. I will say that we never really got to see Mass Dispel in action, so we can't say too much about that. But Orchard Soul Priest was huge. Not only was it a sick board clear in that one game, but it actually gave us a little bit of extra reach. That we desperately needed getting towards the end of those turns, because we only do have the Leroy and the Mind Blast as reach. Lyra was a great addition. Obviously, if you don't have Lyra, you can replace it with the Argent Commander. But the deck felt great. I'd love to do a bit more experimenting with the list. I feel like this 1-drop selection is really solid. 2-drops are also really solid, but I think there's potentially some experimentation that can be done with this 3 and 4-drop slot. And you know, the 1 Cobalt Scalebane, 1 Fungal Mancer does look a bit awkward. I think there's usually, for most decks, going to be one strictly better option, but who knows what that is for this kind of deck. If you are watching on YouTube, all the links are down in the description, including a link over to the deck article. Jump over there, say hi to Jeleniowatyy. Let them know that they're doing some awesome stuff for this expansion. Give the deck a +1. Leave a lovely, thoughtful comment, like I know you will. All my links are down in the description as well, including a link over to Twitter. That's the best place to catch me, at Tommy_Wave, or on Twitch, which is also Tommy_Wave. Streaming 4 days a week, at least until the end of the year. Getting all those good decks covered. Until next time, stay safe, stay wavy, eat the rich, and heal the poor. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.